Welcome to the Social Proof Podcast. My name is David Shands, and I'm here with Mary J. Blige.
Miss Mary J, cover my eyes today.
Come
What's going on, world? My name is Donni Wiggins, your favorite business coach, and welcome to Social Proof Podcast.
We're so happy to be here, and we're so happy that you're here because we get to talk about entrepreneurship and success and mindset. I think the first thing we have to talk about, is InvestFest. You facilitated an incredible conversation.
Are you saying that because I'm your business partner and friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Nah, you did really, really good. I mean, not that I didn't expect you to do really, really good, but it was just really good. It was just really, really good. Kept the conversation flowing, and not everybody can do that. Panels are tough. People don't know that.
Well, panels are tough. First of all, I received so much great feedback from that panel. Mm-hmm. Before going on stage, I spoke to everybody on the panel and said, I want to make sure we give actual, practical, tactical steps, not, motivation and all the things. Largely because that was like the narrative floating around. And I know that anytime you and I are teaching, people actually get information. But panels are hard. Not only are panels hard, but panels are hard when you have four outstanding individuals that could have commanded that 40-minute time slot all on their own.
Yeah,
and so you're giving people 60 seconds or 90 seconds to answer a question and get these thoughts out in a way that impacts the audience. Panels are tough.
Yeah, and keeping it balanced too. You know what I mean? Because you can have someone that talks a lot more than the other, or somebody that isn't. Maybe they're not as detailed in their answer, and you got to keep going back to them sometimes because you got to get more out of them, and then you're still trying to teach the people, and it's a skill set. And you know what's crazy for a podcast summit? I'm not big on panels at all. Period.
I don't like to be on them. I'm better. I like to moderate a panel. I don't mind that, but I don't like to be on a panel sometimes.
Really?
No.
I like being on panels, but for programming, I don't like putting panels together. The only reason we put panels together for Podcast Summit is the amount of speakers that need to be highlighted and get their perspective. But it's not really the best way to teach something.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
why
mean?
you have to be really strategic with the questions that you ask.
Yeah.
Right? When you're really trying to be strategic about getting information out there, you're asking less questions, but more impactful and relatable or relevant questions.
Yeah.
There are sometimes, if you're not really skilled at the art of interviewing, I'll notice that some people who moderate panels will just be shooting out all the questions, right? They're not listening to what this last speaker just said and picking up a piece of that and saying, no, okay, now Dave, let's take that deeper. Or now Halani, let's take that deeper, right? It's like, okay, you gave your answer, on to the next question.
Yeah.
And when you moderate that way, you don't really get a full circle response.
For sure. And but in terms of the difference between keynote and panels, you had to ask questions, and I had to ask questions. I facilitated a panel too. We have to ask a bunch of questions that may or may not be super related to each other because we're giving people information, right, from different perspectives, which is cool. But when you're on stage and it's just a keynote, you'll be able to teach in more a linear way.
Yeah.
Here's how you get this result. You do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And I could take the steps and apply that because I'm one person putting together a format or a teaching. It's almost like, how confused would students be if every classroom had 4 teachers?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't teach something. No, I actually love being on panels, and I love facilitating panels. And I know it's good to give the audience different perspectives on the same conversation. I facilitated with Keith Lee, Ace Metaphor, and Chris Sane. Ace and Chris had very different philosophies on how to build a brand.
Yeah.
Very different philosophies. Chris is more organic. We do it organic, and this is how we grow it. Ace is like, we pay to play. We pay to get the attention. So you can kind of almost feel the tension between those two in the answers. So, and then as a facilitator, I have to like let people know there's not an answer. There's like, there's a bunch of different ways to do something. And the good thing is we're displaying it that way, which is really, really good for panels. But when we look at all of the, and pretty much every year, when we look at the survey from Podcast Summit, we always ask people what were the top 3 sessions and what were the bottom 3 sessions. In the top 3, it's never a panel or a fireside chat. In the bottom 3, there's always the panels and the fireside chats. Not that it's valuable, but it's like this was the least valuable thing.
Yeah, probably the least impactful. I was happy to get a lot of great feedback, people who said that they left with instruction.
Yeah.
But that was my instruction to my panelists, right? You and Jamal King and Halani. But it was also the instruction to the audience. We want you to leave today, not just with motivation, but we want you to leave not only with just insight, we want you to leave with instruction. And this was actually my first time being so intentional about how I ask these questions. To your point, in a keynote, we normally are telling a story that's leading up and building up to a final answer, right? Or a final result or a framework or something. And I'm thinking, well, how do we get this with these 3 different people very similarly? So where do we start? Take us back to where you were. Okay, what's your first move? What's your next move? On Monday, if this happens, what's the next move? And so people have like, I wanted to ask the questions from the audience's perspective. I have to go to work on Monday. I only have $1,000. I only have 15 hours. What do I actually do? And I think prepping the panelist was a good move because they understood what I needed to get from them. And sometimes when you skip that step, this is the reason that I don't love being on panels as much, because you mentioned like with Keith and Ace, it became, you could feel the tension.
But
right?
Ace and Chris.
Oh, Ace and Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, Ace and Chris, you could feel the tension. Sometimes being on a panel when you have people who operate their business so differently, it becomes the battle of the best answer.
For sure. You feel attacked. If you say something and it's contradicts yours, you feel the need to say, okay, but one more thing, because you got to clean up, not clean up, but like defend what you say. You know what I mean?
You're feeling like you're defending your philosophy, but we're all successful up here.
Yeah.
We've all done a thing, but sometimes, and I didn't see your panel, so I don't know what happened.
Why didn't you see my panel?
Because I was trying to find where we were supposed to be for the panel, for our panel, right
Who
after.
needs enemies with friends like this? You know what I mean?
We didn't know where to go, so I was trying to find our panel, and I was there on time for your panel, but they were running a little late.
Right.
So then nobody notified me when you actually went on. Anyway, sometimes what ends up happening is you get one person who will out-talk the rest to prove their point because they got to stand on it.
Yeah.
And it feels like to the other person, like, well, no, after they got that out, hold on, let me do one more thing and one more thing. And it's no real beef up here, right? It's just, I've got to look good. You can't leave me looking like that to the audience.
Yeah, for sure. These are the things that people don't think about. So like, even like as I'm on the panel, the cool thing is I think we're really, really good. We are really, really good.
We're
okay?
really good.
Because we think the same way. We were having a conversation. The same instruction you gave me was the same instruction I gave the other guests.
Yeah.
And I was like, wanted to have a pre-conversation. And I told them all, try to talk in formulas. Like you can give an answer, but try to like break your answer into, so for me, what I did was this, and this. So the reason I did this, and this is because, you know what I mean? Like try to talk in terms of like a formula because we have to teach. And people don't really, they don't think of it like that. They're thinking about like, okay, let me just write down a bunch of questions and ask the questions instead of I'm facilitating the room, and you're really like when you're hosting, you're really the one delivering the information in the way that you need it delivered through them. But people don't see it that way. They're just asking questions. But I just wanted to tell you, it was just phenomenal.
Thank you,
Absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Got great feedback. I do like that after InvestFest, for me, what I saw was the tone drastically changed when it comes to the sentiment of social media.
Yeah.
First it was, oh, you're not teaching nothing. Oh, it's just a party. Oh, it's just celebrities, da-da-da. And then my timeline at the end, oh my gosh, Black excellence. We got to really support these guys and da-da-da. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
But this is what I don't like about social media people on social media. Everyone backs the most popular narrative.
Yeah.
You back the most popular narrative. You don't want to go against the popular narrative because people will start to attack you. So even if you like went to InvestFest and let's say you had a good time 3 years ago and it was like, man, it was cool. I mean, maybe it wasn't the best thing for your situation, but it was cool. It was cool. I had a good time. I don't feel like I wasted my time or wasting my money. If you hear someone else say, yo, InvestFest is a scam, they're throwing money, you would be liable to say, yeah, he was throwing money. Yeah, man, I wasn't really feeling like that. And because I want to be on the bandwagon of the popular opinion, which I think is just terrible and corny. And y'all need to get some.
So I'm looking at 3 pages that I know was going hard against InvestFest, and I can't say that anybody's tone changed. What I can say is that everybody got quiet. So there was a lot of preempting their audience to expect, InvestFest to fit their narrative. Scammers and no information, no investments. It's just a big party for Black entrepreneurs in Atlanta. I went to those pages and I don't see one post-InvestFest post made sense. So you can't post anything because now you're going to look like a hater after the people who actually attended are reporting everything they got from the experience.
Yeah. Oh, social media is a nasty,
social media.
nasty place.
I think in people's defense, it's just fun to have something to talk about sometimes. Yeah. It's fun to be a part of a conversation. No matter how ridiculous the conversation is, sometimes people that might have been the highlight of their day.
That's a fact. We had some really good conversations. In fact, after InvestFest, we cornered Chris Sane and his wife.
Cornered.
He's like, yo, when you going back? Monday. Let's go to dinner tonight.
And he agreed. I know that you've been here all day. Yeah. I know you've been on your feet taking pictures, giving hugs and kissing babies, but tonight,
for sure,
we want to take you to dinner.
Bruh, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in one vertical on Patreon. And because of what we are looking to do and because of what we are expecting you all to do, okay? And joining our Patreon, and we will have that up really, really soon for our new show. We sat down and we were both really, really inspired. One thing he said, and I don't know if I should, I can talk about it. One thing he said was, don't let one community affect another community, or don't let one pricing of a community affect a price point of another community because it's 2 different communities. So we were having that back and forth, like, yo, we have Social Proof Circle, which we teach entrepreneurship and we are on a regular basis. And we're thinking, okay, well, this relationship show where it's more so entertainment and more of the relationship part, we're like, how do those work together or separately? And what I got from it, I'd love to hear your perspective. What I got from it is they're just different.
They're 2 totally different.
Yeah.
We're going to have 2 totally different groups of people in these communities. Obviously, there'll be that middle space. Like if you could think about circles overlapping. Did I do that right? This little part right here.
Pull it down. Put it down.
Okay, you guys, if you could imagine circles overlapping. That little piece right there.
No, don't do that either. Don't do that either. Nah, that's wild. No, just describe it, please, because this is just describe. Just describe.
You
it.
get on my nerves real bad.
No, because you know people in the comments absolutely love you and adore you.
Okay, so anyway, we'll have one community that's going this way, one community that's going this way, but there will be that pool of people who kind of trickle down from both that cross over. So what I mean by that is Social Proof Circle is a community for entrepreneurs, right? These aren't people who are looking to come and have conversations about relationships and love and all the things. And then our new community that will be for the selection process group of people are looking for relationship conversations and entertainment. But there will be some people in Social Proof Circle who wants to hear that too, and they'll have to go over to that community. There will be some people in the selection process Patreon that are actual entrepreneurs. And the beauty is, Dave, there will be some people who join the selection process community and have no idea that we had Social Proof Circle.
For sure.
And so they'll feed each other, but we treat them very separately. They're very, very different brands.
Absolutely. That was just an anxiety that I had, because I'm thinking of, and maybe I'm thinking so small of, like, there's a small group of people that rock with us, right? But if we expect, there's millions of people in the world, and there are going to be hundreds of thousands of people that love us for different things.
Yeah.
And what was encouraging too is Joe Budden just dropped a true crime podcast. He's known for music, which, okay, let me get this thought out, and then I want to get your opinion. So we talk entrepreneurship and business, and we've been doing that for a very, very long time. And in this season, we're moving into the relationship side of an entrepreneur. But we don't really talk about the entrepreneurial side. We just talk about the relationship side. So it's like it's a almost like brand identity shift. Mm-hmm. And that really worried me for a while. You know what I mean? Because I understand how brands work, and identity is very important, how people see you, and you don't want confusing narratives about who you are.
Yeah.
But when I saw Joe, he's, predominantly into music, but now he's going into true crime, and he will take that over. Or someone like a Jamie Foxx, who...
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Comedian. He's a comedian. He is an artist, musically, excels in everything. Actor, he's involved in a bunch of stuff, but his brand is I Love Jamie Foxx. Mm-hmm. So I've been giving people information that is not necessarily a good thing, because brand identity is very important. And I still stand on that, especially when you haven't gotten people to trust you for one brand. You haven't built one thing in excellence.
For sure.
So I think once you operate at a high level, it's a safer route to say, okay, I can go do something else, and it won't be brand confusion, and I'm switching. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I like that we are sticking to our realm of speaking to entrepreneurs, right? So the truth of the matter is, we're here to shoot an ad, and we can talk all about how we've made multiple seven figures.
Because we have.
We can talk all about how we've helped other people make multiple seven figures.
Have.
We can talk about how we can get thousands of people in a room to talk about entrepreneurship.
We do it.
We can talk about how we create viral moments all the time. We could do all those things if we were sitting here to create an ad in the regular format. But the truth of the matter is, we just want to invite you into our circle.
Why wouldn't you want to be in a circle of people with proven success and other people that are in this circle that can really help elevate your game? It's not always about the coaches, it's about the community. But when you have them both, it's up.
Next level. So here's the thing. We have an opportunity that we're extending to you right now. We're inviting you into our circle, because I know you're tired of complaining that you don't have anybody to talk to. I know you were tired of complaining about being the smartest person in your room. And I know you're really sick of not having anybody to bounce ideas off of. We can fix that.
Fix it. We can fix it. You can't fix it on your own. Stop coaching you. You need a coach that can coach you to see how you're playing on the field. So we're going to invite you to stop delaying, stop procrastinating, and be a part of a community that cares about you and can get you to that next level, okay? You've delayed long enough. And make a comment below. If you are a procrastinator, historically. But today you're about to take action. Click the link right now. Join Donni and I. Let us help you.
socialproofcircle.com. I don't believe that. So when I started posting content for the new show, I said, okay, what ended up happening was I'm reading the comments and people are saying, oh, wow, she's a female Kevin Samuels or Donnie's a relationship coach now. Yeah. And I am neither of those things. Certainly not a female Kevin Samuels, right? There was one episode where I was giving a young lady advice and I'm asking questions, and what people don't understand is that we're asking questions not to just get very surface level answers, but I'm always going to follow up with why. Why do you think you need that? What made you attracted to that, right? And the world sees it as pushback when we see it as clarification. Yeah. Let's get clear on what those things mean. So when I first started posting the content, after maybe the third video, I said, oh, wait, people think I'm a relationship coach. They think I'm trying to be I'm a business coach, right? But I think ultimately our brands are evolving. We can be both things. I don't have a desire to be a relationship coach, but we are media figures. Yeah. We're people in media. What we're actually doing right now is building a media company. Yeah. We're building a media company. These aren't even all of the ideas. I would love to have a true crime show. Love. That's the only TV I watch. That and Christmas movies. Okay. I would love to watch or have a true crime show. Am I going to be Donni, the wannabe detective then? No. We're building a media company around ideas that we're actually interested in. And so I think that we 1000% are thinking too small when we say, I'm a business coach or I'm a podcast coach. Dave, we are so much more than that.
For sure.
But what I do love about what we've done so far is that we have built a name and a reputation and the know, like, trust factor in an area. Mm-hmm. Before I was a business coach, I did talk about relationships. That was my start on social media. That's what I began building a following behind. I was talking about dating specifically. I would take people and talk about like my dating experiences. Before I even knew that I was doing it, I was just like on Facebook venting, talking about my dating experiences and sharing dating stories. And then people started to message me and say, hey, don't tell my name, but share my dating story. And so that started to become a thing. I'm like, okay, so if you guys have a dating story that you want me to anonymously share, I'll do it, right? I'll share it. So I did that. That's the space that I started in. And because we start, like, you know, God says he'll illuminate the path, not you being still and doing nothing. I took a step and tried a thing, and that led me to the type of exposure where I got to meet different people. But at that time, I didn't know how to monetize that. I wasn't even trying to, if I'm being totally honest. And I discovered business, not because I became a business coach, but because I started building a business. Well, I know how to monetize building a business. I'm actually selling a product. I'm selling clothes. I'm selling stuff. And now people are coming to me for that. Yeah. You're building popularity and authority and expertise in these individual spaces. I get people who say to me, Donni, you've lived a million lives because I've sold houses. I've sold cars. I've owned a cleaning company. I had a luxury concierge service, like real estate, clothing stores, all the things, because I keep trying stuff. But I believe that history is what makes me qualified to be who I am today. Yeah. Now, I do want to say that I kept trying things and was successful at them. The relationship aspect early in the day, I was never trying to make a business. It was just fun conversation.
Yeah, I think it's important to lock in. So my biggest fear is that our clients that see us, they're like, oh, Dave and Donni doing it? I'm just going to do multiple stuff. And it is nearly impossible for someone who doesn't, especially if you don't got a team, you don't have the experience of lifting up two brands at the same time. It is challenging.
Hey, we have a team and we have the experience, and it's still challenging.
For sure. And we've got money to like hire and oh my gosh. Jumping out the gate though, it's
because even with the team and the tools and all the things, we're still the talent. We still have to show up and record. Selection process. We, right now, the people are still reaching out to me and reaching out to you to get scheduled. We're still coordinating calendars. We're still coordinating production schedules. We're still having to figure out what the best questions are. We still have to manage the team who's responsible for posting the content. We're still responding to comments. We're still posting the content on our social media pages. We're still reviewing clips and saying, yep, this one is cool, this one is not. We're still very present, but at the same time, we have Social Proof Circle, our community for entrepreneurs, where we still have to show up on Mondays and Tuesdays and Fridays, and we actually have to use our voice inside those communities to actually mentor. But beyond that, we have to look at numbers. We have to do projections. We're about to start doing webinars. We're writing webinars right now. We're approving graphics right now. We're doing all the things right now. It's not, you can't delegate everything away and think, oh, I'll just delegate everything, therefore it runs like clockwork. You're still involved, very much involved. Sure. We just brought on a project manager to help us get these things kind of together. And the project manager doesn't have a job to do unless we're providing that person with deliverables.
For sure, 100%. I just sent you, while I'm thinking about it, I just sent you somebody for the show, which remind me, and I don't think we talked to the audience about this for selection process. She's a good somebody. They were coming to me anyway. We initially, and this is about growth, and as you go, you won't have it perfect. And I've never started something and ended up succeeding in the same way I started, because it's going to evolve. So we were interviewing singles, and I started thinking, like, for one, interviewing singles, Donnie, you are the best on earth. You're just so good at it. And I approached Donnie like, yo, I think I want to interview the marrieds. Can we put married people and single people in the same community and build the business from both sides? And Donnie, when I tell you, I did my first episode with a gentleman that's married. It was so good. It was so good. Mm-hmm. I like that lane.
You like it?
I love it, actually.
Yeah. Not only am I sure you're good at that, you're married, so it makes sense to talk to married people. Mm-hmm. Even though I saw a lane with you with single people because you are married, right?
Oh, yeah, for
you're
sure.
able to say, I'm married, this is what it takes, right? Yeah. And then I'm able to, as a single person, say, I see why you think that way, and trust me, it doesn't work. I used to think like that. It's not going to work. But with the married angle, number one, I think you're going to be great just because you're an interviewer, period. Like, you're the type of interviewer that can talk about dirt. Okay, and it's going to work. It's going to work. Sure. Now tell me why this granule right here, right? But also, our audience demanded it.
Yeah.
On every single episode, I saw comments that said, you should talk to married people. Yeah. Not necessarily you specifically, but you guys should talk to married people. Our audience demanded a thing. Now, we put, what did we just say? How many episodes are on the actual? 10 episodes on the channel, but we've put out about 17 episodes total before, and that means that we've been doing this now for about 2.5 months. Before we said, there's a lane here that we can also incorporate for the married people. So we have selection process, single, selection process, married. There's a lane, but there's audience feedback that supports. We also want to hear from married people. For sure. There's someone qualified to interview and talk to these married people. And here's the thing, we're not looking to be coaches. David and I are really great at interviewing because we are sincerely curious.
For sure, 100%.
I like to explain both of our interview style, and I could use so many words, but when I think about it, it's like we're like that 4-year-old toddler. Mm-hmm. What do they constantly do?
I just want to know.
I just why? Mommy, but why? Huh? Okay, but why? And you give them a response, and you can see their little heads just kind of like pondering on the idea. Their eyes are rolling around, and they're like, okay, I'm trying to process it. And then you move on to a different conversation. Come on, honey, sit down. Dinner's ready. Yeah, but wait, mommy, daddy, wait, why? Yeah. You had said this, why? And hours can go by in the day and they don't forget what you said.
For sure.
So then we are listening to what you said in the third minute of the interview, and then minute 33, something contradicts. Hold up, I can't let that slide.
Yep.
Like a 4-year-old Tyler is not going to let it slide. We're going to ask why, and we're going to confirm and clarify. And that's what makes what we do so magical.
100%. And what's cool is, as I only did one so far, but I'm interviewing the married for the single. Like it's a deep dive in who you are when you relate to someone, especially people that are dating now, and maybe you don't want to get to that married step. But I think this conversation was just so well rounded for other people that are married. Because I mean, shoot, I'm sitting there like, oh wait, there's a lot of things I need to improve. So I think this will 100% help my own marriage. Because I get to see, it's like a mirror of, man, you are excellent in your area of husbandry, right? And I don't know all the things, but what I'm gathering is, dang, there's some areas that you're good at, and it reminds me of this was so crazy. So one of the things, so the gentleman that we had on, married for 27 years, divorced for 5, and now he's been married for 7 again.
Okay.
Interesting conversation. My question is, at what point did you realize this isn't going to work? He said year 12. 12 years together with this person that he loves, and he realizes. And I'm like, okay, like, give me the point that you knew this would happen. So he said they're in the hospital. Her dad was like in the hospital for some major surgery. So he sees her walk out of the hospital room from her dad, and she's bawling, crying. And he kind of embraces her and says, hey, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be a simple surgery. They're going to, get through it. Everything will be okay tomorrow. She said, that's not it. And she's like crying her eyes out. And he said, okay, what else is going on? What did he say? He's thinking she told him, they told her he about to die or something like that. He's like, yo, what happened? She says, my dad told me he loves me. He's like, okay, that's cool. He's never told me that. Wow. It's the first time she's hearing her dad say he loves her. But the question was, at what point did you realize it was over? And he starts telling this story of what happened. And he said a couple of days goes by and he realizes that she's never told me she loves me without me saying it first. One of the things that triggered him was he realizes she never initiates, I love you. It's always, I love you. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. And he starts watching it for a while, and it just, I went home immediately. Trey, whoa, before you say anything, I love you. Did you know that? I love you, because I can see maybe I'm not the initiator of the I love you. And then it starts making more sense. Young Paige is here. The initiation of, you know what I mean? She sometimes may feel that I'm not attracted to her because I'm not the person that pours out my feelings or my heart first. Maybe I say this is just an amazing conversation because it was such a mirror, and now I'm just looking for really cool people that have been married for a long time and have a perspective.
Well, that's also what I love so much. And yes, that's also what I love so much about the singles conversations. I think that's why they're so good for me. Because I've seen even in the comments, there's so many comments of people who say, we've got episodes with thousands of comments. And we get so many married people in these single people's or these single interview comments that say, hey, I'm married, but I just learned something about myself.
For sure.
I'm married, but I need to do this differently. I'm married and yuck. But even sometimes as I am sitting in these conversations, I am getting clear. Like as somebody who is prepared to, date and do all the things, you're looking at this and you're like, this should be a mirror to yourself. This isn't just entertainment. Sometimes people say some really funny things, But we didn't create it necessarily to just be entertainment. We created it because we wanted to do a deep dive on why successful and ambitious people think the way they do about partnership. And sometimes I'm sitting there, Dave, and I'm like, I get how ridiculous this sounds. Wow. Right? From both the men and the women.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, oh, I like that. I could do that. Like, it would make me feel good to also do that and show up that way. There's a young lady that I interviewed a couple days ago. This episode will be out soon. And she is practicing celibacy until marriage. And she's like, hey, I'm dating men right now that are ages 35 to 45 years old. I like an ambitious man. I like a leader. I like a man who's sure about himself. But when I asked her what her non-negotiables were, she said that my non-negotiables are that they are Christian and desire marriage. The end. Those are the only areas that she's not willing to bend on. But then I also discovered that they also need to be open to being celibate, or not even open to. That's her rule, right? That's her rule. And so then my question becomes like, while those things are great, and it's almost sad that this has to be my question, because it should be beautiful that you meet somebody and you guys are abstaining from sex until you're married and all the things. But my question is now like, okay, age 35 to 45, she doesn't have a job type or an income requirement, but a leader, an assertive man, a strong man. She said based on the societal definitions, an alpha male. And I'm like, in that age group with those kind of traits, is that man waiting until marriage? She said, listen, I understand that it significantly reduces my pool. I do. And I am okay with that. And I said, I love that for you. No, and I do. Like, I love someone, whether that's your boundary or you have a different boundary. I love seeing these women and these men have boundaries that they are not willing to be flexible on. Those kind of boundaries that make sense. He has to be a Christian. Makes sense to me. Yeah. He has to wait until marriage. Makes sense to me. He has to, what was the other thing that she said? Has to be a Christian. Oh, he has to be marriage minded. These are all things that make sense to me. And what I'm also learning is that I've interviewed some people who say, I should never have dated him. He was never marriage minded in the beginning. So I think about that episode and then this young lady's episode, and I'm like, oh, if they could see each other's conversation, it would be confirmation to her that her boundaries are valid, but it will be information for her that I need to stand on some boundaries. Yeah, and I just love what we're doing with the show.
Absolutely. I just realized one of the major differences between people who succeed and people who don't is the way that we talk about what we're doing. You can feel that there's a passion. Like, we're enjoying this journey. It's not like a product that we want to sell and then get to the marketplace. But I think the true determination of how you grow externally in your business is how much that business grows you internally. When I was selling T-shirts, the whole Sleep is for Suckers thing, it became an identity for me. You know what I mean? It challenged me. I started to get invigorated when someone would say no, because I'm like, oh, now I need to ask questions of why you said no. And how do I get a yes next time? How do I grow through this process? And most people who have a product or a service, or they're calling themselves an entrepreneur, it's only about the transaction and how much money they see they can make, and like all the stuff they want externally. But there's no internal change through the process of building this business. The fact that there's most people can't talk with this type of passion about something that they're building. And that's why they quit. That's why they're so frustrated. That's why they're doing something else every single week, because it's such an external decision. It's not an internal growth mechanism for themselves. And I think that's why we continue to win.
That's why we continue to win. I just also had a thought about your concern that you had about us not being seen in a particular light now that we're doing this new show that's completely different. We're building multiple businesses, Dave.
I'm no longer concerned.
I just thought about Tyler Perry.
Do
you remember when Tyler Perry was doing his stage plays and even his earlier movies, and he's Medea. He's this man in dresses with wigs, playing all of the stereotypical black angles of this grandmother or this woman, right? And then I forget the name of the movie, but he gets this serious role, and he's a husband in this role. He's playing a man who's wearing suits, and he's a husband. And everybody was like, I can't take him seriously. I can't take him seriously. And then he does another role where he's showing up as a man, and he's a businessman and a powerful man and a husband. And now we're liking it, kind of like, we're going down this trajectory of like, okay, I can kind of see it. We saw Tyler Perry as this screenwriter who wrote these plays, who did these, but now he's a movie icon. Like, I don't know that we call Tyler Perry a movie star, but he does star in his own movies. We call Tyler Perry a casting genius, a writing genius, an idea genius. But if Tyler put out a cohort and said, I'm going to teach anybody who's interested in media how to produce their own screenplays and movies, we'd all see him as a businessman. When Tyler gets on panels and speaking engagements and things, we're not looking at Tyler Perry as Medea. We're looking at Tyler Perry, the genius.
For sure.
He's doing all the things. He's doing everything that he wants to do. His hand is in different ventures and investments. He's partnered in things that we don't even know about. And it's not creating any brand identity. But before Tyler Perry could write these movies, he was Medea.
Yeah,
first,
for sure.
Before he could write these different kinds of movies and these sitcoms that focus on different angles, he was Medea first. You mentioned Jamie Foxx. Jamie went from playing Wanda to Ray Charles.
Yeah.
And now we look at him like the trifecta experience. Like, he's a person that whatever Jamie gives us, we're going to take it. Yeah. If he's coming out playing in a movie, we're showing up to watch it. If he's got a new record coming out, we're showing up for it. If he's doing a new comedy special, we're showing up for it. All three very different things, but we're showing up for it.
Yeah, but he walks in excellence in everything he does.
That's
and I think that's the key, and that's the difference. Because Tyler Perry went hard with Medea and became a household name, and then he goes to do something else. Like, I think that's where entrepreneurs get it twisted. They're looking at the example of someone who does multiple things, but typically that thing that they did, they killed it. And that gives you a license to go do another thing. So I'm really excited about the future of, what we're building here. And I mean, yeah, I'm just excited. So we're shaping the Patreon to give the best experience, and we want to see it from the perspective of what can we offer to where 50,000 people will be a part of it. What is an offering that we can have 50,000 people a part of? You go through Patreon, you see people with 40, 30, 20, 100,000 patrons.
Yeah.
People and a lot of those you've never even heard their name, but they have built their following. Golly, I love going on
and it's less about Patreon and more about the network that we're building, because we could build this on anything.
Yeah, I've been asking a lot of people about the whole Patreon experience and how they feel about it, and it's mixed reviews.
Very mixed reviews. So I don't want you guys to be expecting a Patreon. We're not, and we got to stop saying that.
Are we going to do Patreon now?
I don't know. We're leading people to a place that we're not even sure about yet. We're building, though, a network community. That's what this is. It's a network community where you'll be able to see our shows, our behind the scenes, our new shows, and angles that we're taking on each show that's not going to be public facing. We're also toying with the idea of not putting this new show on YouTube at all, and it just goes straight to TV or straight to the network and the community, and that's the only place you get it, but you get the clips online. We've got so many examples of what we could do. We'll be spending the next couple of days just finalizing what we will do. Yeah,
we've got options. So, family, we are looking forward to y'all joining our Patreon. Not Patreon.
Our community.
Crap.
And
joining
even if we
community.
Choose Patreon as the platform, they're not joining our Patreon. Yeah. When we say that, we're just promoting Patreon. They're joining whatever network community we build.
Whatever network community. Are y'all going to be a part of our network community?
Yeah.
Just throw it in the chat. You're going to be a
Let's
part
get
page. That's what's up.
Let's get it. All right, y'all. Right now, though, you
Right
can
now.
join us in Social Proof Circle, our community for focused entrepreneurs who are looking for personal, professional, and financial development. You've got some ideas. You're stuck on something in your business. You're looking to get to the next level. You want outstanding mentorship from mentors who didn't build it 500 years ago, people who built it recently and are still building it today. So we know what worked 10 years ago, and we know what's working today. Join us at thesocialproofcircle.com.
See you in the circle.